Notes today over circles. Nothing too hard. We got a couple of processes that are going to cause us a little bit of trouble. For the most part, it's pretty easy. Our circles, if we're going to go in and pick some numbers, I'm going to go 0 for x. And the reason you like to go 0 for x is it makes all the other numbers easier to find. So this is 0. I need y to be some number squared is equal to 25. 5 will work out really well. So 0, 5, my first dot. We need another dot. You know, if x0 is going to be pretty easy to do, let's try it again. Now some of you are saying positive 5 works, but also negative 5 works. Negative 5 works. Why didn't you use that? And I'm going to say let's use that as well. So I've got positive 5, negative 5. Those are 2 dots on my circle. Another one that's easy, you'll notice if x can be 0 and y can be positive and negative 5, y can be 0 and x can be positive and negative 5 to make the equation work. That's really all we're doing, finding some numbers that will make the equation work. 5 and 0 absolutely will make the equation work. Just going to try those bad boys out and get that done. So I've got these right there. Draw on my circle, and it's going to look just like that. You can use a compass. I'm going to use a compass next time because that got a little weird. But that's how it works. That's how it works. And this is how you set it up. Anyway, moving along. You've got this handy dandy little formula. It's going to tell you how it got about with this formula. This is what we need to remember. You will have your radius squared is equal to x minus your x adjustment for the center plus y minus the y adjustment for the center as well. And again, it's got a great little explanation as to how that works. But let's get on to the problem. So writing a standard equation of a circle with a center that's here and a radius of this much. So we're going to have x minus our x adjustment. We look, our x adjustment is 0. And some of you will say, can I leave that off? Absolutely, you can leave that off. I'm going to show you, though, for the notes. And I will have y minus my y adjustment. Now, my y adjustment is negative. Do not write that double negative. It's plus, all right? Minus a negative 5 plus 5. And then I'll have 3.7 squared. It's going to be 13.69. And that's it. We're done here. So x minus x adjustment, y minus the y adjustment equals the radius squared. Done. Do not let it be more complicated than that when you're filling in that equation. Now, of course, when we get to the graphing, it's going to get slightly more complex. All right? Write the standard equation of a circle. Some of you are going to be tempted to say this distance is 3, but it's not. It's just a little bit less than 3. You'll notice just a little bit less than 3. I know where the center is. I've got x minus my x adjustment, which is negative 1. I'll have y minus my y adjustment, which is positive 2. And now I need my radius squared. So you'll notice radius is simply going to be the c value of this triangle. So a is 2. B is also 2. And then my radius squared is going to be that sum. So it's just going to be 8. Now some of you are going to go, why didn't you break it down to 2 square roots of 2? I mean, 8 breaks down to 2 square roots of 2 because we're going to have to square it anyway. This is the radius squared. C squared is that value. It is the radius squared. So I'm just going to leave it. You can break it down to 2 square roots of 2, but you're only going to have to square it later when you get into it. So man, I just would leave it alone. You don't have to. Now, this one. The equation x minus 2, y plus 3 equals 16. Graph the circle. Notice that scale is 2. Makes it a little weird. So I've got x minus 2 and then y plus 3. Notice my adjustments are backwards. All right? If you have an x minus 2, that puts your x value of the center at positive 2. If you have a y minus 3, it puts that, or y plus 3 rather, it puts that y value of the center at negative 3. 16, remember that is your r squared, so your radius is simply going to be 4. Now some of you, like me, have issues with drawing lines, so I'm going to take circles rather. So I'm going to take this handy compass rather. I'm just going to just going to compass that around. Oh, Blaze compass. Let's see if we can try that again. This compass is pretty awful. You know what I'm going to do? I'll be right back. How much time do I got? I got 5 minutes left on this video. I'm going to get a compass that is not terrible. There we go. This is a much better compass. Much better compass. All right. Got a sharpened pencil edge. Look at that. It's just a better all-around compass. Anyway. So let's get that. It's a very tiny little circle. Frustrating to draw. Oh, and we've got it. Some of you are going to ask, this is just a whole bunch of work for a little bitty circle. I agree. It's a lot of work for a little circle, but it looks nice once you get it done. There we go. It's not so bad. All right. Now, that's how we draw a circle. Write the standard equation for a circle with the diameter endpoints -1, 1 and 5, 7. All right. This one, gonna get a little nuts. I'm gonna get myself a second sheet of paper here. I want you to think about what this looks like. So I've got this. This is -1, 1. And we've got 5, 7. Now in the middle here will be our center. How far is it from -1 to +5 is 6 units. So 3 units from that for our x value will be my center. So from -1 to 5, that middle is going to be +2. And then from -1 to 7, that distance is 8. So my x, I'm going to be 4 away from both of them on my y's. That'll be a +3. So I know my center is at 2, 3. Again, just finding the number in the middle. The number between -1 and 5 is 2. The number between -1 and 7 is 3. 3 is 4 away from both 7 and -1. 2 is both 3 away from 5 and -1. I'm very excited. So we've got that. Now all I need is my radius. So I'm going to think of my triangle. I've got a height of 4. Yep. And I've got a width of 3. This is going to be a 3, 4, 5 right triangle, and that will give me the radius of my circle. Remember that these two were diameters. That's a terrible line, but man, that compass was really bothering me. So anyway, that's how you grab that radius. Now, taking that, and we're going to write the standard equation. I look to my x and y adjustments for my center. X adjustment was +2. The y adjustment was -3. And then my radius was 5, so radius squared will be 25. Looking pretty good. Last problem. Looking for a time capsule. And someone made the great idea of saying it's going to be 11 feet away from here, 8 feet away from here, 4 feet away from here. So we're going to end up having 3 circles. And we know it's somewhere, example, the capsule, it's 11 feet away from the capsule. Now, why they wanted you to make this circles with, a scale factor of 4 and they couldn't give us some better lines, man, I don't know. They're some crazy people. So anyway, it's 11 feet away from the center at the oak tree, all right? 11 feet away from the center here. So here's a circle 11 feet away. I'm going to kind of guesstimate it first. I'm going to put the exact answer later. 8 feet away from the flagpole, which is a 0, 8. So I've got it. It's going to be 8 feet away. Here's the one at the flagpole. It's going to be 8 feet away from there. Now there are 2 places it could be. This place is both 11 feet away from the oak tree and 8 feet away from the flagpole. Now it's 4 feet away from the mailbox. So it's either here or here. 4 feet away from the mailbox. The mailbox is at -12, +8. You'll notice I'm already got a pretty good idea where it's going to be. These are the areas, all right? 4 feet away from here, 11 feet away from here, and then 8 feet away from right here. It's going to be this point right there. And that's going to be, what is that, -8, +8? There we go. And that's the notes for the circles. Don't panic. Oh, you're right, parentheses. Don't panic, and you will be fine.